Hi, this is Wendy. Today we're going to see what Wendy sees. We're going to find out how to spot a sponge. Usually when you say sponge, most people think this. Um, Kids, not so much. They think this. Um, so as a diver, a member of our global community, somebody who wants to understand um, what you're seeing, let me start off with what's not a sponge. Both of these items are not sponges. They are scrubbers. This one is made of paper, and you can feel a little bit of the difference. This one is actually synthetic. That means it's man-made, and it's made of plastic. Some people might even describe this as a sponge. This item actually comes from this. This is called a loofah, and loofah sponges, loofah scrubbers actually come from a gourd, a type of gourd. It looks a lot like a cucumber, and then it dries, and you get all the skin and all the seeds out. This one used to have a few seeds left. Anyway, once it dries and all that sort of stuff, you get your loofah scrubber. So those aren't sponges. So then I wanted to make a point that I'm probably going to make more than once in my video series here, and that is that a lot of things that we see are no more the actual animal than this is actually a human. If you're an alien from another planet and you told the other aliens, hey, this is what a human looks like, you wouldn't be wrong, but you wouldn't be right either. So what I like to do is show my students this. When you have a real sponge, and this is a real sponge, let me find one that looks even more real. Here's one. This is a sponge. But it's a sponge skeleton. It's what's left of a sponge. When you see sponges under the ocean, they don't look like this. They are gorgeous. Um, they have beautiful colors and large sizes and things like that. Not all of them, but they're neat. And so in my hand, I have, and of course I just dropped one, um, several different types of sponges. You can find these at art stores sometimes for sponge painting. These are some little small ones. These are some that I found just washed up on the beach. They're pieces of sponges, and these are much stiffer than these sponges, and that's because these are made of something called spongin. It's a part of the sponge's body that makes its skeleton. These are probably have a lot more calcium carbonate or calcium in them, so they're stiffer. Um, Two more. This is called a finger sponge. Here's another type of sponge, and then this is one I like that I bought at a garage sale somewhere, and you can see sometimes I love when I'm diving and I swim over one like this. I always have to look down in there. You never know what you might find. Neat sponge. Sponges are usually sitting on the bottom and they're stuck to the bottom. That's called sessile. And being stuck to the bottom is actually something that's important for a sponge. This allows the sponge stability, but it's why people like me might have looked at that and come, oh, that's a pretty color. That's a plant. Well, the way that we found that sponges aren't plants is we found out they're filter feeders. So we're going to take a break and let me show you two things. I have a separate video that I've made on these objects. These are called 3D Science Structables from Getting Nerdy with Mel and Gertie. And I have links to where you can buy the patterns for these. Sponges are awesome. They can reproduce in more than one way. In the old days, if you wanted something to wash down your body or the swab the decks with, you might have gone down under the ocean, found a live one of these, cut it off, brought it back up to the ship, and actually squished out the live ship, live cells and then used it for that purpose. You would have to make sure you wash it pretty good or it would smell a little on the fishy side. Sponges have parts and they have functions. Sponges can regrow their parts so they can regenerate. They also can bud, which means that they can spread, like you see this one in the picture doing. And then they also can reproduce sexually. And what they do there is they actually release egg and sperm from they actually release egg and sperm from the osculum up here, the opening. Water comes in through the pores of the sponge, and that water is filtered. So these are filter feeders. And that's really how we discovered that sponges are living things. These filter feeders pull in the water, filter it for any little parts, any little yummy bits. I would say they eat mostly plankton, which is a mix of larvae and little tiny animals and plants and things that are floating around in the ocean. But that water comes in and then it goes out through the osculum. There are little cells in here that have specific jobs to keep that water flowing. They also ingest or digest the little pieces and particles and use those nutrients in the cells. What's neat is anything that comes in and gets dissolved, what's left goes out. So waste products are just sent right out the top. I think sponges are cool. I think there are lots of sponges I have yet to see, but some of my favorites are the big barrel sponges. I like the encrusting sponges. If I see bright yellow or bright orange, I always go do a little exploring, and usually it's an encrusting sponge. One of my favorite sponges is called the vase sponge, and it looks almost like it's a white iridescent blue. I'm going to show you some pictures of different sponges that I've seen over several different dyes. Enjoy the colors and the sizes of some of these sponges. And next time you have the chance to see something under the ocean water, maybe you'll spot a sponge. Thanks for joining us on Windy Seas and hope you come back to see what we can see.